evening, everybody, and welcome to the Block 9 Podcast Live Lounge.
Evening all, how are we doing? Welcome to the Block 9 Podcast. It's an interesting one tonight. Let's just say, not normally someone that's nervous, but yeah, definitely getting ready for this one. We do have Pleggy joining us in about 15 minutes, so excited for that, and hence I'm a bit... Forgive me if I'm a bit all over the place because you know it's a big moment for me as the number one Pleggy fan. Evening, gents. Gavin, Carl, Andy. How are you all doing tonight, Gavin?
Better than you, Mush. Yeah, very well. Long week, very long week. Staring out the window all day, working.
We just also spent the past hour trying to prep for the show as well after busy weeks and days at work. But as usual, we like to bring you our style. Carl, how are we doing? Obviously, you're off because someone decided to slam their thumb in a car door. So how are you enjoying a bit of restful time, Carl?
Yeah, not ideal. I'd rather be at work, but I can't do much in my role with a broken finger. So yeah, I'm off work for a few weeks. So I've got plenty of spare time on my hands, and yeah, plenty of dog walks with the grumpy loyal there.
Yeah, all getting ready for the pre-season ahead. Andy, how are you doing? You missed the last one. Obviously, we couldn't do the one that we were planning to do last week, so apologies for that. Hello, Sophie. But Andy, you've been away in Malta. Your son's married. Congratulations to that as well.
Yeah, my son got married last fall. Seems like an age now, but we've been away to Malta as well. It's been really hot. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in the fray. Got to say, Mike, you look as though you've gone 10 rounds with a couple of boxes, but I don't know, maybe wrong. But yeah, I'm doing good, guys. It's nice to be back, and it's good to see everyone again.
Yeah, a bit of a squeaky stall there from Sophie. So look, everybody that's joined in so far, we do appreciate you coming in. I will just go over in a minute some of how this show works for those of you that are new. So just going through some of the comments, though, we've got already Zoo Corner in, a bit of banter in the old posts on the channel today, which was good fun. Ninja Matt is in. Good evening, Matt. Hope you're well. Andy Argyle. We've also got Ryan Sondy, who's listening on the motorway, he seems to say there. Stephen Cooper's in. Got a little treat in a second, Stephen, to show you from something you requested in the last show. Will we or won't we sign Burrell? Well, we'll come to that in a minute. GT also saying, Pleggy, yeah, we will have him on soon. Kenny Pester, evening, and there's a few others in there. Pilgrim Pete's son, he will be on with us as well later. That's Herbie. So, yeah, look, it's going to be a packed night tonight, so we shall go to our usual slide deck presentation. Oh, let me just go back to the first slide. So come on, Edwards, get your act together. So for those of you, like I said, that are new, and it's like, oh, so okay, who is the Block 9 Podcast? So we've been going about a full season now. It was our first anniversary, actually, about a couple of weeks ago. Originated and started on TikTok, and then we brought it to X and YouTube. And of course, because we are spoiled as Argyle fans for podcasts with Green and White Argyle Life and also Pilgrims Pod, we of course wanted to make sure that we bring you our view on things, but also in a different way. So one of those things that we like to do, and the regulars will know, is we like to put a slide deck up. No, it's not deaf by PowerPoint, but we just like to visualize and bring stuff to you that way. So just to sort of give you a bit more of an overview as well from a the community side of things, what we want to do. Sort of set out a few goals that I've always wanted to achieve with this and with the gents, and that is to try and bring more stuff to everybody. Try and get insider insights into things. People that work in and around the club, and the guys over in the States and all the other countries. Tatsuki, obviously in Japan, and just try and connect a few more people. So bring us all together and try and do a bit more of that this season, which will be good. And of course, as we announced, if you saw it on our recent post, we have sponsored the local Tammet and Foliots under 15s, as it will be this season. So we shall tell you a bit about that as well. So just going to start off with a bit of the Argyle news update, like to do at the start of each live lounge. So obviously the pre-season, it's nearly coming to an end. The Austria camp completed. Obviously, it wasn't great in terms of the final game and that funny own goal from Hammond. But all round, I think it was good to see what was going on there. And as we said before, brilliant content from the Argyle media team over there to share on of that journey with us. The Truro game, obviously, they came at us quite hard early on in that game, but we managed to pull it back with a 3-2 win. So that was good. Behind closed doors matches, there's been a couple of those last Saturday and also today, I believe, to get the squad intermatch squad games, so to get more involved. And I think Damon Lathrop said to Chris Errington that it was a really good, hard tackling, proper game that. And obviously the Torquay triumph, which we'll come on to as well a bit more later. We'll do that after we get Pleggy on, so we can talk about what happened there. For those that went, myself and Gavin did, and Herbie, who will join us, will be on too. Well, gents, the transfer window in this news, I mean, Borough, is it going to happen? Isn't it going to happen? It's 1.2. Is it 1? We only want to pay 700. I mean, Carl, just quickly coming to you on that. We were hoping for a sign-in today. It hasn't quite happened. But, it's a bit, oh, God, is this one going to come to a conclusion?
Well, it's not just today. We've been after number 9 all pre-season, and it seems to be going down to the last week. So I can't see anything happening today or by the weekend. So we're going to be going into a match day week without a recognised 9. Hopefully we'll get something done next week before the Barnsley game. But even if it is Borrell, which I'm still hoping it's going to be him, he's not going to be Matt Sharp straight away. So obviously he hasn't played for Burton in pre-season. Obviously he was away with Jamaica for a few weeks, hence why he was given some time off. Like obviously Maxi and Paulson were when they were over in their respective countries. So yeah, unless we've got something else up our sleeve other than him. But for me, I still want it to be him. He looks quite promising. He's young enough to get better, and obviously with our system of trying to improve players and trying to sell them on at a decent amount of money. Obviously, that's our process with players going forward. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm still hopeful. He wants to come here, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, I think that was seemed to be noted, wasn't it? That he's sort of appreciated the interest in Argyle trying to sign him. So it's one of those, everybody wants a number 9. But I mean, if you look at Torquay and the way Amiachi's playing as well at the moment, scoring so far, then do we need one? Of course we do. Yes, no doubt about that. The big one on here that came out today, how strong this is, we'll find out soon enough. But Gavin Mumba to potentially Middlesbrough, Blackburn. What's your thoughts on that? He had a cracking game at Torquay, didn't he?
To use a word that I use often or sat in my seat because I can't swear anymore, poppycock. Well, it's come from our version of pretty much of the Blackburn site, isn't it? Which is fine. Ex-rumours. I've noticed. I only noticed it because my Unilever stocks went up by 3% in the afternoon. So clearly there's been a lot of bedwetting and lots of purchases of Purcell. But all joking aside, I can't see anything in it. I mean, it might be there, but I think, Tom and Foxy will be reluctant to let him go this close to the season because we're sort of bereft of cover on that left wing anyway. And also, I think, more importantly, he's found his position now, and he's obviously been told he's playing wide left all year rather than, in goal, sweeper, left back, right back, centre midfielder, wherever he played last year under numerous managers. And I think he's enjoying himself there, looking at the way he played on Wednesday night at Torquay. I thought he had an immense game. He was back to his sort of former best. I know the opposition was probably a little bit slower than what we're going to see in League One, but his positional awareness was great. I thought the way he got down the bylines and crossed early was really useful. He didn't try and beat a man 7 times and then beat him again like Sissoko. Noticed that a lot of our goals came from crosses. So I think, him on one wing and Amici on the other is going to give us what we were hoping with Sissoko and Whittaker, which is 2 quality guys that can cause hassle and hope they can't double mark both of them. So I was impressed.
Yeah, no, I think, well, Ninja Matt, let me just put it back up on the comments there, trying to sort of multitask where I can, folks. I've heard that Mumba loves Clevs and is flourishing. Can't see that happening. He did seem to have that extra step in him again. And yeah, he can definitely tear it up in League One. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I mean, Andy, it's, sort of deadline is the end of August, if I've got that right. And we've still got 5 loan slots available. So, there is potential that we may end up being in a situation that we do take some loan slots, and they've proven successful for us, as well as Mumba's one of those, and also Whitaker. So all's not lost, but yeah, it's getting squeaky right towards the start of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to get that number 9 in ASAP, and then fill the loan signings wisely. You're going to get some cover at the back as well, aren't you? Because if one of those back 4. Particularly, we don't want Pleggy to get injured, but if one of those back 4 get injured, then what have we got option-wise? We got some youngsters there, of course we have, but you want some experience, especially sort of Championship or upper sort of League One quality as well. So you don't want us to be, you want to sort of go out and get some quality in there that's going to bring something to the team. Like we did have with JB last season, although some people didn't like JB too much, but yeah.
Yeah, I think, look, it's who knows. It would have been nice to have had a player announcement today, that's for sure. But yeah, it doesn't, unless it's going to happen very late, there's no need for it to. Then, we shall see. But look, we can keep our hopes up. I think the big thing for me is after, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. My AI voice on the news posts can pronounce it perfectly. But the game, in Austria was a bit of a like, oh, what's going on here? And then the Truro one started a bit edgy, got back into the game, and Torquay, I think, gave us some really positive sort of hope. And I guess, and before anybody says, yes, it's only Torquay, but the leaving the ground, I said to Gavin, that's the sort of score line that you would expect to and I mean that with the greatest respect to Torquay, that you'd want to see and get. And the fact that the goals in the second half came at pace, it was great to see the movement.
But we've never beaten Torquay that convincingly in pre-season before, have we? I think we beat them 2-0 last pre-season.
It was 2-0. Ben Wayne scored late.
That's right.
I think the thing for me, and we had a beer, didn't we, after last year, and a bite to eat because it was an afternoon kickoff. When you're leaving the ground last year under Rooney, we were like, how are we setting up? What's our identity? What's our patterns of play? What are we looking to do? Who knows? Scratchy head. There seems to be a lot of, like, to use a rugby term, because I know Ninja Matt's was, there was a lot of heads-up football under Rooney. It didn't feel like there was no plan. Pleggy might tell us different in a minute. But you could really see the patterns of play clearly, I think, under TC. Go long when you need to, play out from the back when you can to draw the defence, and then play through the thirds, go wide. So for me, yes, it was just Torquay, but we annihilated Torquay in the second half. And what was really pleasing for me was normally in those type of games, you bring on 7 or 8 subs and it all goes to rat shit. Actually, the intensity was upped again, I think, with bringing those players on. And Patterson, when they went to 4-2-3-1, we'll come on later, his passing, especially for Ballymumba, was outstanding. That's clear, sheer class.
Yeah, Stephen Cooper saying, has anyone heard that we are getting a young guy on loan from Man United? Funny enough, actually, Cleverly has been a regular shopper to the range. For those of you that don't know, I work in...
Not another fan of Crazy Pilgrim.
I don't want people to think, oh, God, is he really just shop at the range all the time? But Cleverly's been there a few times. I've not had the opportunity to bump into him, but a few guys have. And one of them asked... is a Man United fan, so I was having a chat to him about that, and he said he was looking to try and get some loans from United, and also we might see that from Watford too. So right, next up is our announcement. So that we put out earlier in the week. Hold your horses, not Pleggy yet. I'm watching to see when he comes in and hoping we don't have any technical difficulties. But of course, we've decided to invest back in the community, and as such, we've decided to do this. See, only folks, if you're new to here, quality video productions. That's all I'll say. Only the best. I mean, look at that
Middle
photo
Finger
still
Productions.
of David Fox sat in his office. Sorry, Gavin?
I said, all brought to you by Middle Finger Productions.
So, yeah.
Very good, very good.
So actually, Carl, do you want to talk this one over? Because obviously your son plays for them.
Yeah.
To explain to the fans what it's about and why we've done it.
Yeah, so obviously their current shirt sponsorship for the home shirts ran out, and they were in the process of trying to find some new sponsors. So they mentioned it one evening at training, and I thought, hang on a minute, this might be a little opportunity for us as a podcast to get our brand out there, get our name out there, and just, you know, like you said, give back to the community and help a local GGM club out with a bit of money and a bit of exposure for both of us. And yeah, going forward, it'd be interesting to see if we can do a little bit more in regards to that, maybe away shirts or other things in the pipeline. But yeah, it's something that why not?
Yeah, no, look, and there's Harry, evening Harry. Vanzino says, kit looks great, guys. What a sponsor. I must admit, I haven't seen it in physical form yet. Carl has, but it's come out really well.
So where do they, just for the listeners, because if it's Argyle away and they're not travelling, where do they play? What's their normal home game field? And because you might get a few listeners coming and cheering them on.
It's up at Bond Street playing field. It's kind of up past the Flagstaff pub in Southway.
Okay,
so it's just up from Tampton Foliot, up on the hill there. But yes, it's a lovely pitch, and cracking view from out around the Cornish Hills and looking out towards Brenthall Church and everything. Yes, it's beautiful up there. But
can we get the fixture list on our socials?
I'm sure we can.
They'll have to start charging admittance soon. There'll be 4,000 there.
Gents, I'm just going to cut you off because the moment has arrived. So Pleggy is waiting. I'm just going to roll this and then we'll bring him in. Now, this is where I get nervous. And there we go. Leo. Oh, what an honour. Absolute honour. How you doing, mate?
Hello, guys. You're good?
Yeah, all good.
Thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully you liked your intro there. Obviously, I sent you that at the end of the season when we were about to announce you as. And for everybody that sort of wonders, where this has all come about, I will touch upon it quickly. But I was at the Etihad, leaving the ground with Gavin and a few others. And Georgia, Julio's partner, I didn't know at the time, just stopped me when. It's you from TikTok. And I was a bit like, oh, who's this? And she said, Pleggy, and I love watching your videos. And I was a bit like stunned. Pleggy, it was so funny. And then I was just beaming then. Gavin didn't hear me shut up. No one heard me shut up.
For the next day and a half, he didn't shut up.
Next
6 hours
week or two. And as you can see, it says in my name tag, Mike Pleggy's #1 fan. Absolutely. But yeah, look, it was brilliant. I mean, for those that do their own content, and I've got my channel on TikTok, Andy does too. It's you just do it. You talk about your football club and what you love and enjoy. And when you do get someone that plays for your club, it's great to have that engagement. So I have to give my massive thanks to Georgia and obviously also to you yourself, Julio. So yeah, look, it's nearly the season. You've obviously picked up an injury just before going to Austria. That must have been frustrating. We were panicking, Julio, because we were like, "Where's he gone? Argyle was saying nothing."
No, don't worry about that. It was just a situation where I cannot go out publicly and say I picked up a knock. You know what I mean? So knee is going fine, and touch wood, it stays like this.
Yeah, no, it's good. So obviously, I think there was an inter-game squad game today, wasn't there? I think I saw a video from the club. But did you play in that today? Can you say?
No, I did not.
Right, fine, okay. So, but are you, obviously there's Chris Errington came up from the Plymouth Live saying that there's a chance that you will get in the squad tomorrow. So are you hopeful for that to get some minutes? Because you must be craving that.
Yeah, so in the last week, I've stepped up my rehab quite a lot, and I've actually done a couple of sessions with the team now and passed all the tests. So now it's down to the manager if he lets me play some minutes tomorrow.
Yeah, so no, well, look, I'm there tomorrow. The guys are there tomorrow. Yes, Andy and I are in the Block 9. So, as usual, can't wait to get back. Enjoyed Torquay, and we'll get your thoughts on that in a minute. But obviously, you're up to, if we exclude the caretaking roles of Giuseppe, your fifth manager. Are we on your fifth or sixth manager now?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of change. So you're someone that's obviously, you've seen that. It's football, isn't it? We all get what it is. Players come and go, coaches come and go, things work, things don't. Obviously, you did sign your 2-year extension under Miron and all the stuff that happened with that. But how are you finding it with Cleverly and the coaching staff there, for this season, for the preseason? How's that been?
Yeah, preseason's been obviously, apart from me being on the sidelines a little bit, it's been really enjoyable. The atmosphere within the club is very refreshing. Very we're in a moment now where we're all itching to for the season to get started.
Yeah.
Tommy's been really good, really enthusiastic. His coaching staff as well, very energetic in the training sessions, very detailed. So far, really enjoying working under them.
Yeah, I think one of the interest. Obviously, we know the situation with Miron, and it is what it is. We won't go into that here, but we've done that already. But it's with Tom, I think, and bringing in some of his backroom staff, where you haven't had that. Rooney came obviously, and with I forget his name off the top of my head, but there wasn't a structure there where it looks like the club have at least given Cleverly that opportunity to start off with his coaching staff. So at least you feel that there's a more structure, more control, more focus on the key areas, and you can get into that pre-season feeling a bit more prepared. Is that fair?
In a way, yes. I will agree with you. I think with Tom, the way that we're working and tactically and physically, I think is a bit more intense, a lot more detailed, and Gaffer said that he wants us to be super fit, especially in this league. We have to be. So that's been one of the main key areas that we've been working during preseason. And as you can see, for example, the other night against Torquay, towards the end we ran all over them. So that's the aim to do this season.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I'm just going to bring Gavin in so I don't just steal the show. Why would I ever steal the show? It's Julio on it. I mean, come on. But Gavin, obviously, you wanted to ask about the tactics and a few bits there. Go on, fire away.
I don't know if you watch or not, but I sit in the grandstand at the front of the director's box, so I can see the game in sort of the pigeon view, if you like. So I quite like looking at patterns of play, and I've got the old club statistician sat behind me who was club stato for about 30 years. He's now quite old and retired. So he taps on my shoulder and whispers stuff in my ear often. So just from my perspective, when we were looking at tactical alignment this time last year with Rooney, and we were saying this just before you came on, I don't know if you were listening, but when we left Torquay last year, it felt like the football was quite heads up. It was like playing the moment, quite fluid. When you go to Miron, then it was like completely the other way. It seemed to be early, get the ball up the pitch as quickly as you can, even if it's just hoofing it in the Rose Ebb with Katic and Maxi and yourself. Seems to me that TC plays very structured, but actually through the thirds and a little bit direct if we need to. Would that be fair? So he's like amalgamated the two styles. Would that be sort of from your perspective as a player? Would you say that's fair, or am I miles off the mark?
No, so he said since day one he wants us to play his style of play, but he's also very adaptable. So,
yeah,
sometimes at the beginning of the games where the team is, maybe marking your man on man high on the pitch, sometimes you just have to play a bit more direct and then compete for second post, and that's where the physical part of our training is coming into part into our style of play. So. Saying that he has a clear style of play. He wants us to be free to play through the lines on the outside, free flow in midfield. But when the moment comes that we have to play a bit more direct, he's not afraid of that.
So from your position at centre half, now playing in a 4, or when we're in possession, kind of a 2, I suppose, because like Joe Edwards on Tuesday night was playing inside right and got 2 goals from there, which was quite nice. And I suppose it came to a back 3, and you've got Brendan playing left back and bombing on quite a lot. How does that change for you alongside Suchel or Powelson? Because last year it seemed very clear that you had great relationship and great communications, no matter who was playing in that back three. Victor, yourself, Maxi, Nicola, you all seem to communicate through the game, and I can see that at a decent level from where I sit on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Now there's only two of you back there. Is there more need for communication in terms of, like, if you're in possession and you lose it on transition, or is it still the same in terms of what you're doing day to day?
Well, in terms of when we're attacking, we want to be able to pin teams down. We want to be able to lock them in their own final third. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And so communication is going to be a big part now to be able to stop counterattacks. Both centre backs with the help of a midfielder or one of the fullbacks. There's going to have to be that communication to be able to stop teams from breaking against us. But that's the idea. We want to be high on the pitch. We want to play out. We want to get in the final third and then create chances there and don't let teams come out.
So a bit like with Miron, you're trying to win. If you lose the ball, you want to win it as high up the pitch as possible so that you can transition and get behind them before they can realign.
Yeah, 100%. I think the counter presence is really important in this system that we're going to play.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
No, excellent. Before I chuck a question to Carl, I have to ask, because I did say to Georgia, make sure Pleggy tells the other players that he's on tonight. Did you do that? And are we likely to have anybody nosing in the background?
I'm not sure. I didn't mention it to anyone. But if anyone says it, I'll get a lot of dick tomorrow.
Yeah. Look, and at the end of the day, if you're happy to come on again, later on when we get maybe an international break and see how things are going, you'll have to drag someone on. So,
I'll do my best.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. As always, appreciate it. So, Carl, question from you.
Well, I was going to ask about pre-season, but we've kind of covered a little bit about that already, haven't we? So, out of all the new names that have come in, our summer signing so far, who's going to be the biggest character in the dressing room, do you think?
Oof, that's a tough one. Because we've got a lot of new boys that are really funny, really young. So we've got a lovely mix at the minute. Really good mix.
Good.
Well, I'll tell you what, Carl. Actually, Pilgrim PE has put a question which I saw it and I thought this is a great one. So, what's it like being reunited with Amici again from your Arsenal days?
Oh, I loved him when we were together at Arsenal. He was a really good player back then. That's when he made his move to Germany. But had a decent relationship back then, and now he sits right next to me in the changing room. So now we have to keep building on that.
Are you his dad in the change room now?
No, come on, I'm not that old just yet.
Is your length of stay in the squad? You've got a carriage clock. Well, apart from Joe, of course, who's been here since the club was formed. Played with Joe, played with Jack Leslie. Everyone else is quite new, aren't they? So there's like you, Bally, Joe. There's a handful of old school, isn't there? But there's a lot of new guys come in this year. So how are you all sort of coping to bring them into Plymouth and to the club?
No, I think, to be fair, all the new boys that have come in, because they're a little bit younger, they're really hungry, really eager to make something out of their careers. So when you combine that with a bit more experience from other players, I think that can be a really good mix. Because you also have to think we've got a player in Jamie Pato, who is also experienced. He's been around. Around the game for a good while. So he's also a great character to have in a changing room, and he's also going to bring us that extra quality to achieve our goals this season.
So it sounds like, Ninja Matt is a regular follower of us. He's put a great question in there. The squad, how's the squad gelling with each other? All good. And it sounds like what you just said, those youngsters are coming, they're hungry. That pushes, I can't use the veteran word on you now, but certainly Joey Edwards, it pushes you though, doesn't it? Competition for places is always healthy if everybody's hungry to want to get on. And I think at Torquay, when the subs happened, that really showed that.
Yeah, I think in terms of what the squad is looking right now, everyone is ready to do the job.
Yeah.
Like everyone is willing to fight for each other, and we have to keep it. We have to be able to maintain that, because it doesn't matter what team starts against Barnsley. We've got a 46 league game season. We're all going to be coming in and out. There's always injuries, suspension. So everyone's going to have to be ready. And if we manage to maintain that relationship between all of us, it's going to be a good season. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I think it definitely that Torquay game lifted a lot of spirits. You can't take anything from friendlies, and it's the greatest respect to Torquay. It's a brilliant pre-season friendly with them, but it's like the result really sort of showed us that. Wow, okay, we've seen some stuff today. I mean, we just mentioned Amiichi. I mean, the ball to him in the first place, the touch, the cutting in and striking it. It was Whittaker-esque, but it was just a bit better. But it's that excitement, isn't it, that you want? And the other good thing is that there were a number of different players. Joey getting 2 goals, but Mumba, etc. It was good to see a mixture of players scoring the goals. So I'm conscious of time, obviously, that you offered out to us. Just sort of any final question from you, Andy?
Yeah, just picking up on the way that the team worked together. What are your thoughts for the season ahead, and what are your own personal goals? Have you got any predictions for how we'll do?
Well, for me, obviously, as a group, goal is promotion. There's no doubt about that. Wait, I've got someone who wants to say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello, man.
You can't hear them because they're speaking to them.
Oh, yeah, cool. AirPods. I've got my daughter Sophie.
I'll send it back right there.
Yeah.
So
he's got his daughter also in there.
She's gone shy now. She's hiding. So
you okay? I'll be on in a minute. Yeah.
Is he looking forward to the season?
Yeah. So obviously, for me, as a group goal is promotion. Like this, that's a clear one. And for me, as a personal goal this season is I want to keep building on how I finished last season. I finished playing in a team that was in a good momentum. Obviously, we didn't make it in the end, but I want to keep building on that and help this team achieve their goals.
Well, I mean, of course, because you did win, Julio, the prestigious Block 9 Player of the Season Mug Award. And as Georgia said, it's taken pride of place in your trophy cabinet, of course.
The only thing missing, Julio, is the Grumpy Loyal one.
You'll have to send me that one too.
You'll have to have the whole collection.
There you go, Andy. But yeah, so obviously, look, I think it's great that you seem to sort of be shining about the season, about the start. You can see that energy in you. We're all excited. We're going to carry on and talk about the Torquay game a bit more, and then also a few other bits and pieces as we build up ourselves to the season ahead. I can't wait to get there tomorrow, and hopefully, see you get some minutes. Is Georgia in the background? Is she going to come in and say hi, or is she not? She said she might.
I don't know. Did you want to come and say hello?
Still all shy now, Julio.
No. Is the answer.
No. Is that a no? Yes. Yes, she's coming. She's coming. She's coming.
Gotta say hello. Come on. Hello.
Hi, Georgia.
You right? How are you enjoying the sun? Oh, she can't hear, can she?
She can't hear, can she? He's got the AirPods.
Are you enjoying the sunshine in Plymouth?
Yeah, we're here for 6 weeks, aren't we now?
Yeah. Got them here all summer now, so shoot me.
Yeah, no, I've got 2 kids. Carl's got 2 kids. They're both off now. Yeah, cheers, Georgia. So look, Pleggy, we will let you go. Really appreciate it. We'll keep in touch and then see. Are you good to potentially come in during the season? Is that allowed? I don't know what the rules are, but if everything's okay,
there's no issues because we're not discussing tactics or anything like that. So further in the season, I don't mind joining in and keeping you guys updated.
Hey, look, it's an honor and a pleasure if we can bring that sort of content to the fans. Argyle, as I said, are spoiled for podcasts, really. So it's great if you can come on and give some updates. I know Tom's not shy of a podcast or 2, so maybe we'll have to try and drag him on as well at some point. But you've set the benchmark. You're the first active Argyle player on the Block 9 podcast. So any other players that are watching tonight, DM us and we'll get you on, of course. You know, so-
Mike. Just before Pleggy goes, I've got a burning question. It's a Charlie Price special. Where do you keep your eggs, Pleggy? Everyone wants to know.
I can't tell you that.
No.
That's classified.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our future captain. Yes, we're saying that. So, Pleggy, thanks very much, mate. And Georgia, thank you for helping as well in the background there. Hope you have a great 6 weeks down here and the sun does keep shining for us all. Have a good rest of the evening. Enjoy tomorrow. Let's really kickstart this season, Julio. And we're all looking forward to it. Mate, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pleggy.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pleggy.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers,
See you
mate.
later. Bye.
Take care.
We got Herbie, who's been patiently waiting in the back. Oh, Gavin.
Me.
Good
I've got to put my
grief.
pants back on now. Quick. Oh, there we go. That's better. Oh,
Right, Mike, you can wipe the
radio.
sweat from your brow now.
Well, hang on, one at a time. Sorry, go on, Carl.
I said you can wipe the sweat away from your brow now.
Well, I'm still, as long as I'm still looking all right. I'm still looking all right. Yeah.
do you know what you reminded me of there, Mike? You know yes, Miss Patterson. Yes, Miss, you were like, oh, Pleggy. Oh, yes, you're lovely, Miss Pleggy. I love you, Pleggy.
Hang on, Mike, I'm just trying to work out how do I kick Gavin out.
Bye, everyone.
Oh wow! So
Pete Sun's arrived.
Herbie, can you hear us loud and clear?
Yes.
He's on mute. No.
He's still in awe by Pleggy.
He is.
Yeah, I think we've got a little bit of a lag.
Hello, Dad.
Yeah, there's definitely a lag. Try and come back out and come back in because there is a signal lag. I'm just going to block because else that'll be a nightmare trying to deal with that. So, folks, there you go. So we promised you and we delivered, and that was brilliant. And it's
He's a champion, isn't he?
Yeah, and if and he obviously will do a bit more of that for us throughout the season as well. Obviously, if it's challenging situations, I won't even ask respectfully because that's never good. But
come on, if we're top of the league,
it will be all good. Yeah, it'll be all good. Also, before we go back to the slide, Stephen, if he's in, I'm not getting naked, but he did ask, "Are we going to do a polo?" How do I get all this done with my day job? But yeah, look, I've got a polo, so I've got to sort all this merch out. It's amazing how quickly the season ending and the season about to start has gone. And as the guys know, because I've driven them absolutely bonkers, I've had like 100 ideas, of which I wanted to get 20 of them delivered, and I hadn't even done any of that yet. So yes, we do sell some merch. We started off with the mugs, as Andy showed his there. I'm going to get some tops. I think I've found. Obviously, we've got to manage this because don't have loads of cash to like have stock of clothes, but I can make it work. So we'll sort all that out and put it on.
Boxer shorts as well.
Yeah, boxer shorts, yeah. Zoo Corner special. If you don't know, that was all in the comments on the post today. Go and check it out. Good bit of banter. But yeah, so we'll put some stuff up on there. And if you do want to contribute, because it does help towards the production of these things for the guys that that do these sort of shows, not just for Argyle, but for other football clubs as well. You do have to pay for a number of things to help you do it right. But we love doing every minute of this. And yeah, that is a moment. And that was great. I'm glad there were no technical glitches. And I didn't make myself look too much like an idiot. Maybe I did. So let's just see if Herbie's back in. So can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, well done.
So we were at, well, before I go back to this, because obviously we're just finishing up on that, before we had to go to the breaking news because Pleggy had joined in the live. But Herbie, obviously you were listening in the background. That was great, wasn't it, to have him on?
Yeah, it was. And actually, I think I'm the only person to ever be subbed on for Pleggy, so that's a good thing.
See what you did there, Herbs. Nice, mate.
Yeah, but yeah, and I think that all the questions you asked him, I think, were probably questions that lots of Argyle fans wanted to ask him as well. Like, it wasn't like awful questions like "Where do you keep your eggs?" They were actually like good.
We did ask that. And he
clearly missed that one.
Everyone. and obviously what a delight it is to have him come on. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, it's good, and to be fair, a lot of the Argyle players are very engaging. I know we went through that awful tenure with that Ian Ford, but I can't bring myself to mention his name in full, where he sort of shut that off, didn't he? But we are a community club, and that's what it's all about. So anyway, what have you been up to, Herbie, recently, young man?
So I went to the Torquay game. I've been to the Truro game as well. But at the moment, just enjoying the sunshine, really.
Do you just to ask? I mean, as long as your dad's not watching, I mean, did you actually remember anything of the Truro game?
No, I did. Yeah. Not enough to give loads of analysis, but I did remember it. Yeah.
We're still waiting for your match report to go on the website, Herb. Yeah, apparently you've not sobered up yet.
That's gonna be absolute drivel, so you don't want to read that.
Oh dear.
I can do it. Dear. So I was fine for that one.
Okay. Yeah, no, well, good. We'll come on to that in a second. That's the next thing really to pick up. Stephen Cooper has responded to the polo chat. Very nice. How do we buy them? So I've got to get. There's a lot of work involved in just doing this. So I've got to get. I'm checking sort of different quality levels. I want to make sure that there's nothing poor and there's nothing too expensive, and then I'll get some photos done. But it'll probably be a couple of weeks. I'll try and sort it out if I can before next week's live. So just bear with for now. So, and in the comments, yes, I can see Zoo Corner said you didn't ask him my question. Zoo, I literally was trying to keep my eye focused on both things and not get too distracted. So,
which one's that? The boxer shorts one?
Possibly. I didn't see it. Carl, was there anything stand out that you picked up on?
Well, question wise,
in the chat.
I was too busy focusing chat, to be honest. I wasn't paying much attention. I didn't want to distract myself.
Well, so folks, I mean, we've now got a vacancy open for the Block 9 because Carl
one job, Carl. You had one job.
Yeah, one job liner.
One job liner.
I'm trying to see if I can scan back, but I did show.
I mean, most of it, to be fair, was about being captain. So
yeah.
There was a question about the new number 9 that Argyle Army asked, which I thought might have been interesting.
I'll try and see if I can find that. I did show Harry's comment while he was on, so hopefully Harry did see that. But yeah, look, I think it doesn't matter anyway. So we'll just crack on. So while I still calm down from that moment. Our sponsorship. Looking forward to that, and Carl need to keep us on the schedule. And if anybody will post that. So what we'll do just to finish
off. Put a fixture list on our website, Mike.
Yeah, well, so we'll do is we'll update when we do a live lounge. We'll mention where they're playing next, and obviously we'll do that. If anybody did want to contribute additionally to it, we can try and work out and sort that out. But yeah, we will add it to our repertoire, so we can just give you an update, or Carl will, on how that's progressing. So as we now just knock into the 1,000 viewer mark. So for those of you that have just joined us. Well, if you came for Pleggy, you're too late for starters. So we've been there, done that. But no, we're now cracking into the Torquay overview. Again, thank you, everybody that's in tonight watching. If you are new, please, if you're on YouTube, go and subscribe. If you're not and you do have a YouTube account, do that. If you're watching us on either the Bottom 9X or my X or Carl's, etc., please give a like and a follow, and please retweet, spread it. We want to continue growing with what we're doing. So every little does help. And if, like Zoo Corner, Voodoo, etc., you want to put some banter in the comments on the post, then we will enjoy responding to that. So Wednesday night, it was Torquay away on a gorgeous evening in the English Riviera. The second one that Gavin and I have gone to, we went to last season's as well. Oh, and in the home end because we're just too busy to try and get a ticket early. Really good. Enjoyed that. And a 6-0. We touched upon it with Pleggy, and there was a few things there. So, Gavin, I'll go to you for your sort of synopsis of the game, and we'll also ask Herbie as well. But the starting 11. So over to you, Gavin.
So we were queuing up for a pint in their Far Post Club, whatever it's called. Team came out as I was next to the queue. I looked at it and thought, what the hell are we playing here? Because there was 3 centre halves and 3 midfielders in the side. I thought, oh, okay, what's going on? Didn't think for a second we'd go 4-3-3, but if you flick back a slide, just 1 second, that was our view. Genuinely, we were behind the goal in roll 2. So from where I sat, it looked like a 4-3-3, and black kit, as you can see, we've gone with the times. Quite interesting. So Galloway played at left back, Joe at right. Cornell and Victor played at centre halves. I thought Victor's communication again was superb. I thought he led that line really well. 3 ball winning midfielders in the midfield, which I thought, well, we're going to have lack of creativity. This could be interesting and quite dour. First 20 minutes, I think we'll all agree we can forget in a heartbeat that they come at us at a rate of knots, and I think we're all looking at each other going, "Uh-oh, this could be interesting." They were very competitive. They beat Newport County, I think, the week before 3-1. And to the guy sat next to me, he said Torquay ran Newport ragged for the whole game, and they could have scored 5 or 6. So we thought, oh, this could be interesting. And then after 20 minutes, they seemed to sort of find their feet, get hold of the ball, and play some pattern play and go through it, which I thought was great, really. Front 3 were obviously stand out through the whole game from that 20-minute period onwards. And I thought Bim Peppel was really good at holding the ball up. He didn't put his foot through one in the first half, and I said, "Oh, I used a word 4 letters long that I won't use again if family stands without getting told off." But he tried to take a touch in the first half, and I think if he'd put his foot through it, left foot through it, he would have scored. So there's a bit of confidence there. But he played, I thought, really well. And we were commanding. I think we played, as sort of Pleggy said, really well. We seemed to play up to Pebble, who then laid the ball off to Boateng or Ibrahim or Weirdo to move the ball forward again. He seems to be very good with his back to the goal, which is great. And I thought we sort of got wide really quickly, which was great. In the first half, Bally went down the left, nearly got taken into Rose Ed by a sliding tackle, and that produced the first goal of the game. For Amici, wasn't it? The left foot, side foot into the corner. So I thought we were great sort of after that first 20-minute period, and then the second half we ran absolute ragged, and I thought we were exceptional. But you can only play what's in front of you.
Yeah, I think, I always like to look at different views. Obviously, in the block 9, where I sit high with Andy, we're obviously one row from the back high up. Carl's in a similar position in block 11 because we had to move him away because he was just rowdy. And then Gavin obviously sits with his Diamond membership in the old director's box, which is an amazing view as well. And actually, you can sit up in these elevations and it's so easy to see what's happening in the game. But when you're down at that pitch level, it certainly brings a different perspective. So when you're up there going, pass it over to so-and-so, come on, can you not see him? And you're down at pitch level, I'm like, no, you can't. So there's a lot going on. But for me, sort of Torquay, my sort of poor synopsis of tactics was very much like, Argyle was sort of caught out with Torquay having a go at them. But I think for Torquay, you're either going to do it straight away or you're going to suffer if you don't. And it was great. They had some good bit of play with their squad. But obviously we had a few attempts. Nami Etchi's, I thought he scuffed the shot, but I watched the replay and it was a great little finish with the right foot into the corner. And as you said, Gavin, that second half was just like blinking. You missed half a dozen goals. So it was just great. That energy, like we just said to Pleggy, everybody. And when the subs came on, they wanted to get the goals in. Herbie, where were you? Where was it you were sat on the ground, and what was your anything different to Gavin? What would you add to the?
So I was the complete opposite ground of you two. So I was with the standing Argyle fans. So I got a great view of all the second half goals. I just thought that's the best we played pre-season. Like the Austria game and the Truro Torquay game was definitely the best game we played. I think it's also refreshing as well that we cry about not having a squad depth and we're going to really struggle. We've offloaded so many players, but actually when we brought on our subs and we kicked on more and we played even better. So no subs stopped us. So obviously our depth is probably good enough. We still need like some strikers and maybe a defender, and we still got 5 loan spots. But I mean, all the players that played what day was it? I played against Torquay. I thought they were fantastic. It was weird seeing us play a midfield three, and I couldn't really work it out at the start. I knew obviously Waidu was he's definitely a 6, but then I didn't know if Boateng and Ibrahim were both 8s or Ibrahim pushed on a bit more. But it looked like Ibrahim would fight anyone that ever tackled him. So that's a good player to have in League One, I guess.
3 games, 3 rucks, isn't it? He's had 3 rucks in 3 games. Love that. Love it.
Oh, well, he's like a rugby player. You'd like him, Gav.
Ninja Matt would love that reference, Herbie. Just saying.
And I've just got to talk about Amici. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Like every time he got the ball, it was sort of like edge of your seat sort of stuff. I saw a lot of comparisons as well with him with Whittaker, but I actually completely disagree. I actually think he's better because Whittaker, I mean, in the nicest way so far, and the nicest way to say he was a bit of a one-trick pony in the sense that he cut inside and shoot. It worked every time, and we all loved it. But Amici showed ability to take on his player down the line, and then also ability to switch the ball to Mumba, like he did it 2 or 3 times in a game. So he's got more strings to his bow than Whittaker, and that's probably what we needed.
He also tracks back and tackles as well, which I noticed in the first half.
Yeah, it's amazing. Isn't it? I can't remember last time I was going to do that for us.
A right winger that actually gets back and helps the fullback.
I was going to ask you, Gav or Herbie, is he quite pacey? Because he looks like he's he tends to slow the play down and just dribble with the ball quite close to his feet.
I think he's got quite explosive pace, Cole.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use another one now. He's a bit of a sevens player, a bit of a Fijian. So he'll sort of stop, jink, 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 gone. And the player's looking for the ball, and it's behind him, and he's already got the crossing.
Because to me, he looks like he slows play down a bit like Danny Mayer used to, and he kind of keeps it close to his feet, and then he kind of, like you say, burst of pace. Yeah,
I think he slows play down when he needs to because there's no target in the box to hit the ball to, and because it seems like the ball's glued to his foot, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So on that, I think he's got a very good football brain, quite frankly. You can see he's come through an Arsenal academy because his spatial awareness and everything else is outstanding. So.
I just my point. I was just replying to Michael Blowy, who's just joined. He said, "Pleggy been on yet?" Yeah. You missed out. So he was on around 8:15. So you can go back at the end of the show and obviously catch it on YouTube. And of course, I will clip it and share it out as well. But Carl, your point actually on Amici, and I still don't know if I'm really pronouncing that right. But I saw it in the first half. So correct me, Herbie and Gav, if I'm wrong, but as I saw it, he seemed to just sort of struggle a little bit to get past their left back, I think it was, and you could see he's a bit tricky on the ball, and he was wanting to find his space, and he just struggled a little bit, I felt, in that first half to do it. But then in the second, once he's got that space, and it was a bit like in that sense, Whittaker-esque, where if he's got that freedom and he's running with the ball, he can probably get past fine. But I think, he scored 5 goals, and he scored 2 again today in the behind closed doors. So it's exciting to watch, and the ball to him and the touchdown, as my colleague at work, Sean, mentioned to me when we were talking yesterday. He said the touch, and when I watched the clip back, it was a beautiful touch to bring it down. Exciting for that. Just looking at
Mike, just to say, I think the reason why he had more room was because Joe Edwards got forward a lot more. He was kind of on the next slide. You'll see what I'm talking about. But Joe Edwards got forward into like an inside right. So the grumpy lawyer, was I'm sitting there, Andy, will recognise, and you might want to tell the audience what an inside right is, because they're not going to know. But he seemed to play that old-fashioned inside right channel, which then freed up because they were worrying about 2 players then with him bombing on, and that's when he had his space. Before that, when he struggled, it's because they doubled up on him, because obviously Paul Watton's no mug, is he? He's going to say, this is the danger man, for God's sake, don't let him cut in on his left foot. And I think with Paul bombing on, with Edwards bombing on and playing on that inside right channel, that's freed him up to take on the one-on-one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and
no, you're right, Gav. Yeah,
and also as well, like talking about, you said he struggled in the first half because there were 2 players on him, and what did he do? He just switched the ball to Bally.
Yeah,
like, he had the ability to do that.
50-yard pass, ping it. Yeah, diagonal.
Yeah, because he's
I just saw the brief highlights of the game, and the passing was like
fluid movement
in places, and so that pass for, I think one of Mitch's goals, was it from Patterson, I believe, and he just found him in space with a sort of slide pass, brilliant. Get some good football.
I see a few comments. Just Ben Collins, evening Ben, by the way. Ben's a regular listener as well. I hopefully don't miss anybody out where I can, so get to that. I thought Weirdo was class. Actually, when we left the stadium, Gavin and I were trying to sort of say, right, if you had to pick someone out overall, who would it be? And we both went for Weirdo or Wydo, however you pronounce it. He was getting clipped, or not even clipped, brought down quite hard, second half, left, right, and centre. But he just got up, dusted himself off, and cracked on with it. And I thought he was good. And actually, Herbie, Gav, agree or disagree. I thought Boateng had a good game.
Cracking game.
He played really well as well. The whole midfield, I thought, were unbelievable.
His distribution, I thought, up that left channel was immense, because I think early on, Bally didn't really get a look in unless it was a switch from the other side. As the game went on, Weirdo seemed to be able to sort of win the ball very easily, a bit like Panucci Kamara used to, ping it to Boateng, and he didn't waste, I don't think, one piece of possession. I'd love to see the stats around pass accuracy, because it was superb in that second half. I can't remember seeing any wasteful balls at all, and I think Ibrahim bombed on and sort of did that advanced 8 bit really, but I thought Boateng's distribution and winning the ball and getting his footing was class.
Yeah. Also, Mike, just before you go on, Ninja Matt has mentioned that Weirdo and Ibrahim are going to be the upgrades to Randall and Houghton. That's a good shout, actually.
We did discuss that in the car on the way back. I mean, like, we're not going to get there are different types of players, which is Gavin made the point straight away. With Randall and that, but it's we are excited for that partnership.
They bring something different, aren't they?
Yeah. And just to, I haven't forgotten you, James, sat in there. So James from the Watford Way, who joined us, obviously, when we signed Tom Cleverley. Evening, James. Hope you're well. Just saying, how's Tom getting on? And while I was waiting for us to finish that, then Ninja Matt just stepped in and did the update for us. But yeah, Ninja Matt said the Watford Way, he's doing great so far, making a really good impression. Really down to earth and honest bloke. Football's decent too, and he loves shopping at the range. Sorry, did I say that already? But yeah, I think he's got a challenge, James, because obviously we're trying to find that number 9, and we've brought a lot of players in that are on frees, 3 transfers, or sort of small fees. So that which has riled up certain fans that begin with a B and others. But the fun and games. But it's just great. I think he is a perfect fit. I hate using that, actually, the word perfect, but he is a great fit for the club and the club to him. He's saying he's all committed and stuff, and he wants to settle down. We'll come on to that a little bit later when we touch on that brilliant pod with Simon Hallet. But yeah, so excited. And the energy, for those that missed it, but the energy and you could see Pleggy's itching to get out there. Every player, Pleggy said, it wants to get out there and have their opportunity and have a go. We're going to see great competition from the squad for positions. But once it starts, it's not going to have a Rooney start like Sheffield Wednesday. No chance.
Just going back, kiddos, Gav says a lot of time there's a lot of bedwetting going on about not getting a number 9. Clevs has got something in the background. He's planning it. We don't have to worry about it. There's a lot of players that come to the club already we didn't even know about. And let's face it, who heard of Imachi or anyone like that, who'd heard of Ibrahim? We didn't even know they were coming. And then all of a sudden they're at the club and playing football for us. So I think the number 9 is going to come. Just got to trust in the process.
Yeah, I mean, just to point out, Andy, you do have a client confidentiality agreement with your counselling, yeah? So you shouldn't really be saying with your sessions with Tom. All good. So do you want me to go to the next slide,
Yes,
Gavin?
please. About 20 minutes ago, but that's fine.
Yeah. Calm down.
In possession, this is kind of what we look like, I think. So it's quite nice, actually. So if Such ever plays right back or Galloway plays left back, although McKenzie can do it too, actually, having that right-sided fullback sort of bomb on, that for those under the age of 40, that's what an inside right position is, where Joe Edwards is standing. So you'd probably call it now a right-sided 10. Would that be right, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so inside right. Yeah, so in the olden days when they had cork on the bottom of their boot, so they come up to about their mid shin, that type of level. Played with pig's bladders. But that seemed how we sort of played in possession. Weirdo kind of won the ball back. Boateng down the left, Ibrahim when he wasn't scrapping down the right, and then Edwards bombing on again. And this is where I think Amici got some good traction because Joe was giving that outlet, so they didn't know whether he was going to pass inside to Joe on a 1-2 or to continue that or go. And what I really like about Amici, this is going to turn into a bit of a Amici fan club, isn't it? But actually, unlike Whittaker, who goes in on his left pretty much 99% of the time, he can go down the right and he can whip a ball in with his right foot, which I think is really good. Just on the playing style, just something to point out. So we did play through the back, and one of the goals I think actually started with Ashby Delazouche, as I called him on the day, but Ashby Hammond, doing a bit of a Cruyff turn in his own box and playing it out to Such, who then played in through midfield. We went down one side, and I think it was Joe Edwards' second goal, maybe that was, putting a low ball in. But those that were heavily bored around my Miron Muslic presentation on like what Miron ball was in its purest form, actually this isn't a million miles away. Really direct down the flanks, and I think Pleggy sort of mentioned it as well. We sort of outflank them with fullbacks and midfielders running on, get the ball in the red zone, and actually having people like Edwards and Ibrahim running on and being that sort of penalty spot cut back individual means that, that's where Joe got both of his goals. They're a carbon copy, really. We were really good. I thought Bally Mumba's crossing ability was fantastic. He put a ball absolutely on a sixpence. And one thing I did see was into passing in the box quite a lot, which we never did last year. Even under Rooney, it was like as soon as it was like someone has a hack of a shot. But we seem to be looking up and saying he's in space, roll it, and then they have a shot. So I was really impressed actually with the patterns of play. Because we went direct to Pebble, as I say, when we needed to, and he laid off to either Boateng or Ibrahim. And then it went wide to one of the wide guys. But we also played very well through the thirds. And Weirdo, for a defensive six, he is so comfortable on the ball. Mental. He is just, it is like it sticks to his foot, and he looks up, and he had a bit of Jan Mulby about him, really. But he is about 10 stone less. So I was really impressed actually with the way we played. And going back to the earlier conversation that I was leaving with Mike, is you can see, and I said this to Pleggy a little bit, you can see the patterns of play clearly. And it was on one of the earlier comments saying you can clearly see the patterns of play now and how we will style a game. And you can also clearly see that you need to be bloody fit to do this style of play because they did not stop. And the guys that came on, which is the next slide.
Hint Edwards, get me wrong.
We'll lifted it again. So this is how we finished, which was quite interesting. So Zach Baker in goal. Jack Matthews, I thought, was actually pretty solid at one of the centre halves. Cornell stayed on and played a full 90. Eamon Benarous at left back was an interesting thing. I don't know what you thought about that, Herbs. I was like, oh, okay, left back. But I remember hearing that he actually played a little bit there for Bristol.
God, I got some grief from some Bristol City fan online because I mentioned that he's played left back before in his previous club or when he was younger or something, and he gave me right hell for it. And
oh, really?
He said that in an interview.
He did. He said it in an interview to us. Yeah.
So, he can play left back, left wing. He's very versatile.
He looked very comfortable on the ball. I think he's just going to be a baller. I'd actually play him, him and Patterson in that sort of 4-2-3-1 pattern. But this is how we finished. We finished 4-2-3-1, so we reverted back to what we've seen historically, which is great. Caleb Roberts, I thought, come on and didn't disgrace himself either. He was full of energy, full of running. But the star of the show, I think, in this lineup clearly was Jamie Patterson. He was outstanding. And those who haven't seen the Ballymumba goal, get on YouTube and look at it. So it's a ball through the middle. He is pretty much where he's standing right now on our formation. He looks up. There's a right back rather, and a centre half, and he threads it right between the middle of them. Bally comes looping round the outside. The ball's weighted so well, he didn't even take a touch. He just hits it right foot, bottom corner. You would have been right in front of you, Herb, I would imagine. and it was majestic. It was one of the best weighted passes I've ever seen. If that had been the Premier League, they'd still be talking about it now, match of the day. So he is real quality, real quality.
I think we weren't annoyed at all that we only got 1 goal and you got 5, Herbie, of course. But, it's I mean, from adding to Gavin on that there, and as GT said, loving the analysis. Yeah, absolutely. Carl, you just get grief on X anyway because it's your bad jokes, don't you? So I mean, it just follows.
Well, it's not the jokes. People just, I don't know, just a bit odd, aren't they?
They're still banging you for the Rooney shirts, mate. That's why.
Yeah, he hasn't quite got his Tom Cleverley one yet, folks. So yeah, Herbie, I mean, how was it seeing those goals and the play leading up to them from your view?
Yeah, I mean, it was just refreshing to see as well. There were lots of passes also like between the play, but also what I mentioned is that when Zach Baker came on, I actually thought he was quite good, and actually like distribution with his feet, he was quite good. I was thinking like is he a modern day?
Oh,
then obviously he's
we're losing.
and obviously
you need to get 50p in the meeting, mate.
Ball with his feet kind of player.
You
like,
hear me,
he comes to
Major
the academy
Tom?
with him. So yeah, I expect nothing less from him, to be honest.
It was class. I bet Baker was very good. He didn't have a save to make. I don't think he touched the ball with his hands, did he? But his passing out, his distribution was class. Actually, you're right.
So, actually, Herbie, can you still hear us? All right, because we did have a bit of an issue with you. He's gone.
He's run out. He needs to.
I mean, if you're gonna come in to the live, you've got to sort out your dial-up connection. So actually, before we forget about this, because I just clicked that we haven't done a slide on it. Luca Ashby Hammond. Now, I wanted to ask Herbie this because he was down his end. Now, my colleague Sean, he was up in the grandstand on the right, so he down that way, so he had a good view. He said he looked a little bit out of sorts in the first half. There was actually, you see it in the 6-minute reel where he sort of the balls come in towards Zooks out just on the edge of the box. He was telling me about this, and I did see it. He comes running out, and then no communication. Zooks heads it, and he has to stretch back to catch it. But he just felt there was a few question marks there. Now we know he is good with his feet. And actually, the one thing we both did say is that his kicking out was actually really good.
Very good,
but yeah, look, we don't want to get into this whole...
Mike, that's got to remember.
Yeah, well, we don't want to get into this whole situation of, why we signed him because he's...
Mike, he's played 3 games with that back four, right? Zach Baker's trained with them for 2 years because he's still, even when he was at Western-super-Mare, he was still training with the squad. Obviously, Hazard's number 1, and he's been training forever. You can't expect a keeper to come in and within 3 games suddenly be able to understand what's going to go on with the back four. That takes weeks and weeks and weeks of training to get into some kind of rhythm. So I thought he did really well. He made 1 save in the first half. I think that was the only shot on target. And other than that, his distribution was solid, and I thought he was a good communicator.
I just want to bring up quickly about the comments on his announcement signing on X were an absolute joke, weren't they?
Great.
What a way to introduce yourself to your new club. If he's got social media, then I hope he didn't read that because that was a disgrace.
Yeah, I think this is every club has them. We mentioned it the other day. About stuff that happened in Austria and that, and it's not great. It really isn't great.
I just don't understand where people were coming from. We were never ever going to sign a strong number 2 that potentially were going to knock Conor Hazard off number 1 spot. I think Conor Hazard's going to be a fantastic keeper in this division. I thought he was in the Championship. So you're never going to keep 2 keepers happy. If we ended up signing a number 1 potentially to battle with him, I think it would have been more detrimental than good, really.
Yeah, and there's Accidental Pilgrim. Good evening. Good to see you in the comments. Keepers just a bit rusty and unfamiliar. Exactly what Gavin just said. Pretty much, that's what these games are for. I also just want to go back to some of these comments because Lendog, I thought, made an interesting one here. Evening, Lendog. Good to have you in. Anyone else think Edwards is going to struggle? I think. No. Okay, straightforward answer. Carl, did you say no?
No, not a chance.
No.
Did you see any of that at Torquay?
No.
No.
Not to a degree, although obviously, there was support coming from Mumba and stuff at times. I don't. The thing is, there's a lot of youngsters that come in. I mean, you've got it on the finishing 11 there. Joe Nwaru, who joined the under-18s. He got straight into the squad there, and he looked hungry as well. What a great thing to get in and have.
16-year-old, playing in front of 5,000 people. That must have been a big thrill.
Yeah, exactly.
Can anyone in the audience answer a question? Because we didn't know, and I still don't know, and I've not had time to research it. Is this the young kid we've just signed from Wolverhampton Wanderers?
No.
It's not him.
No,
oh, okay,
fine.
No.
Right.
For some reason, I thought it was him. I thought, that's nice.
I saw some reels on YouTube or some thing he did when he was with Wolves, and the kid looks a talent. So it's quite a good coup that we've got him to come to the academy, apparently.
Absolutely. Well, maybe it's the building of brick.
And before we move on, one player that we haven't really touched on at all, who's gone quite under the radar, is Oseni. How was he against Torquay?
Good. He looked all right when he was on, yeah.
Very sharp, quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's quicker than Peppel. He's got gas. I don't think he's as strong as Peppel physically, holding the ball up and stuff.
Would you say he's kind of more like Niall Ennis?
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, well, no, I think Niall would probably hold the ball up better than he would. I think he's got pace to running behind.
Yeah.
He's got a good football brain. I haven't seen him in front of goal because he didn't really get an opportunity. He didn't get a sort of gilt-edged chance. But he ran the lines well and got in some good areas. So there was nothing there. I thought,
but okay. looking at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Peppel up front, isn't it?
Yeah. But just going back to, I know the stock of Unilever keeps going up day by day with all this bedwetting, but I know it's my running joke. But actually, right, scoring 6 goals. Let's be candid, right? Only one coming from our 9, which was a good finish, but it was again a good move. Knowing that you've got our skipper bombing on, you've got Ballymumba, great first time confident low shot bottom corner, and we've unearthed this absolute baller in Xavier Amici. I'm not that worried because if you just put your mind back to last year and the year before, right? A certain man who's now gone to North Wales, my ex-neighbour, I've unfollowed him now, fuck him, on Twitter. No, I haven't really. I'm joking. I wish him all the best. He's a nice man, but he didn't score a single goal until after Christmas last year. He couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo, right? So where do we get our goals from? It wasn't on 9s, was it? Let's be candid, because Obafemi again was spent most of his time in the casino, all on black. He barely featured. Who else is on? And probably our best centre forward spent most of his year on the physio couch. Who's now gone 6'9" of him's gone back to Europe. So we didn't really score many goals from our 9s last year, but we're getting goals from Weirdo scored a couple. Edwards scored 5. Edwards scored 2. Bally scored 1. We're getting goals from all over the pitch, so I'm not worried. But I think this style will do that. I think Tom will ask him to bomb on, and he'll ask him to get in the box, and he'll ask him to shoot on goal. You can't ask for any more than that. So, do we need a 9? Absolutely. Before I get absolutely battered on Twitter about saying we don't need one, and Simon's going to take all the money and run away to the Bahamas on his yacht or whatever. Yes, we do need a 9. But are we going into the first league game going, shit, where are we going to get a goal from? Well, not when we've just scored 6. No, I mean, tomorrow's a much bigger test. I get that. And that obviously Viner's a good centre-half, and they've got a good back four from last season, and I think they've added to it this year in Bristol City. But I don't see us having much of an issue.
Yeah, no, just say to Accented Pilgrim, late on the parade, apologies. We appreciate you coming in either way, mate. So if you've covered it already, just summarise it quickly, Gav, on Benarus. We did cover it, but just...
Come on, played left back, very composed, got forward and helped out Ballymumba and then Joe Hatch on that left-hand side, crossed the ball well, composed, pinged a couple of diagonals as well over to the right-hand side to Freddie Osaka. He's going to be a real baller, but he needs match sharpness. I think that's very evident. He hasn't played since 2022 from what I've seen. He's going to need probably till September or October to get match sharpness, which is absolutely fine. But if he stays fit, I think him and Patterson in that 10 channel, that centre 10 of that 4-2-3-1, they're going to tear up the league with the wide players we've got. We keep Ballymumba, which I think we will. Amici the other side. We've got great. All we need now is another proven scorer at 9.
Yeah, and you've got another fan, Gavin, from Stephen Cooper. So there we go. Great job, spot on, mate. Leon, sorry, it just reads to me that way. So Lendog, can't say we need a striker until tomorrow. We'll know, mate. Yeah, I think, look, if we just summarise the Torquay match analysis as we've done there, Gavin's given the time to put all this together with me and talk you through it better than I ever would. But that's his piece. So yeah. Obviously, we've got that 4-3-3 that he followed. The tactical approach vastly improved in possession, playing both out from the back and through the thirds. We could see that with that adaptive throughout, which is good to see. And we've mentioned these standout performances, but we can, of course, do it again. Obviously, the new signings are Miechi, Ibrahim, and Weirdo. And, of course, as I put a note in there about it, not forgetting the veteran Mumba, who also shone. And when he stays, he will stay. Then fingers crossed. And I think we're going to see that Mumba back in League One again. So just take a bit of a breather before we come on to this one to finish off the show. So yeah, look, I'll just recap for those that have joined us. If you're new to the show, obviously, with us announcing Pleggy coming on, it's been great to see all the interactions in the post, because else it's just normally the four of us talking to each other. But no, it's good to have regulars on and the new guys on. Like I said, we bring a different style. One of the things that we didn't want to do when we set this up just over a year ago is try and copy anyone else, because we do have a great set of pods, and this is one of them in front of us. Argyle Life, the other one. And so we wanted to bring our own style. You're going to be talking about the same things, of course, but this is where we do the slide deck. So we like to take you through what we're going to talk about and give some visual aids. And last season, I did clip some videos and stuff, and we hope to do the same. We're going to tell you at the end what we're going to do in terms of the schedule. We're going to mix it up on the match day games to well, I'll come to it in a minute. But yeah, please go like, follow, subscribe on the YouTube, etc. It all helps grow the awareness. And we will, and are hoping to bring on, it's Carl's job to dig a few more of them out, like we had James from the Watford Way. We're going to connect up with a few more. We've already got a Peterborough podcast that we're going to tie up with as well. So if you are watching from another club, or other podcasts as well that would like to get involved with us on the previews to the games, then please let us know. So yeah, let's have a look a bit more in the comments going down here. So yeah, we didn't do a slide on it, and we'll do it quickly now. But obviously tomorrow's Bristol City. Kenny Pest is just saying, I think we need to be grounded. Tomorrow will be a better test. 100% correct. If we had drew or only just beat Torquay, the convo would be different, as Gavin highlighted it. It was last year for sure. So it's positive. And like I said at the start, the fact that we went out there, and fair play to Torquay, they had a go. But when we turned it on in that second half, it was a different story altogether. And respect to them, like I said, that's what you would expect to see, that result. I don't know what the final score was, but someone did put in the comments earlier that Exeter were only beaten them 1-0 in the 60th minute then. So that just as a matter of fact, for those Exeter fans on my TikTok that started to put some comments in. So yeah, Bristol City, Carl, come to you. Like, we're all going tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Let me just bring this up as well. So Carl, if you want to just give your thoughts on it. He just shared this, or Gavin retweeted it for us. I'm just going to load it up. So go on, Carl, you just talk about tomorrow quickly.
Yeah, can't wait to be back. It's the summer's felt like forever this time around, probably because we had a relegation on our CVs, but yeah, I really can't wait to get back. I don't think we've sold a terrific amount of tickets for tomorrow, which is disappointing. I know many people don't like pre-season friendlies, which is fair enough, but yeah, I can't wait to see Home Park again. That pitch looks absolutely stunning, and I'm sure it'll be gleaming in the sunshine tomorrow. Yeah, and I can't wait to see the new boys come out and show us what they can do.
Yeah, Chris, I think it was you, Gavin, that retweeted, unless it was you, Carl,
it
while
was
we were
me, yeah.
live. But yeah, sorry, thanks, Carl. But the I know sort of Gavin and I talk about Chris Ralph. If he's listening, or if anybody knows him, we'd love to get him on. I mean, a typical thing for the live lounge shows, which I'll explain is normally on a Thursday in season, is that we want to try and talk about specific subjects. We'd love to get him on, whether it's live or we pre-record it, to just understand the technicalities of these pitches, which have just amazing how much they've advanced over the years. But it looks amazing.
Okay, good.
So, Carl's got his daughter going off to bed. Night, Sophia.
No,
so, this looks fantastic. So, it'll be good to get back. Andy, you looking forward to it tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, looking at that picture there, it seems to look better every season, doesn't it? That the whole area it's such a big improvement on what we were used to get back in the day. They were Dempoing, you know. It'd be good to see Kenny Pester tomorrow. A good friend of mine, Kenny, of course, Clarkey and Aaron. See all the regulars there, getting back into the routine of going to a match again. It's great.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. And Gavin, obviously, you'll be in your.
No, they're not opening the upper grandstand. So I'm down in near my old season ticket, actually, in the lower Mayflower and the padded seats next to the director's box. I think there'll be like 7,000-8,000 there tomorrow, which I actually don't think is that bad for a preseason.
Not bad.
And the weather
it'll be. I don't think we'll get as round as blocks for 19 or 20, but I think Devonport and Lyndhurst will be full, and then they'll probably fill the lower Mayflower. So that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, it's good. I'll go back to the slide deck, but yeah, well done again to Chris Ralph and his team for that.
Who took that photo, by the way? It's amazing.
He posted it. I think it was him. I took it off his account, so it was him. So there was a couple of others, but I just chose that one quickly while we were in the live to bring it in. So top job there. So we're all looking forward to that. Let me go back to the comments just to make sure I haven't missed anything. So Ben said, "Where's the maxi money?" I'll bring that one up because we're going to come on to that. Stephen Cooper again saying Bristol City team in Plymouth already, be a bigger test. Yeah, that's what we want. And obviously Kenny's just said the same with Andy. Looking forward to seeing you, the grumpy loyal return. So Accidental Pilgrim, quickly before we go into this one, my missus has arranged an afternoon with friends tomorrow, and I'm contractually obliged to go. So have to miss
100 lines, Accidental Pilgrim, 100 lines.
100 lines.
So absolutely. So obviously we were going to go live last week, and I did sort of mention it at the start. So apologies for letting you all down. Certainly Carl, Gavin, and I have got kids. Andy's all grown up and now married as of recently, as we mentioned at the start. So yeah, it's just juggling it, and with full-time jobs as well. It's pretty manic. There's been many a time when Gavin's been going up to Birmingham or Northampton and coming all the way back down and having to jump on the live with me to get it ready. But yeah, we just love it, and then we just sleep for the rest of the weekend. So this brilliant podcast, do love listening to the guys at Pilgrims Pod. They did their Simon Hallet interview. For those that don't know, they have done that before. If you are watching, gents, Tom and Archie did this one with him. Then evening to you both. So I was going to put up the photo of them holding the Block 9 mug from the last day that they stole. Didn't steal. But yeah, so it was a two-parter. I would have absolutely done the same, to get the engagement, of course. But it was. I know it's easy to say that, Simon was being really honest, and it was great to hear that. And there's others that someone did say to us if we'd have gone live, last week. They were like, "Are you going to call anything out?" It's not about calling things out. The first thing I will start off with is a couple of things. If you're a fan of a football club and you ever get the opportunity to buy your football club and invest in it, what a thing to be able to do. Simon did that when the club obviously was coming out of its bad spell and helped assisted get it back on its feet, and would not have expected the immediate success that ensued. And obviously when you go up into jump those two leagues, go up into the championship, that's a serious situation. For 1 minute, he absolutely does not want anything but the best for the club, but also he's made an investment, and obviously, as he alluded to, you don't expect to make money back in football, but he that's what his plan was. So yes, you can be extremely critical at times, and some fans are, and we all have been frustrated at those times. you don't get every decision right. But what we thought was worth pulling out of the interview was a few things on it. And that is, the trust factor. We'll come on to that with the Miron thing. Contractual realities. So Ben, to your point, you can see in the notes we made there, if you can read that, it's maybe not all what we think it is. And obviously the investment update and the situation there, which has plagued him with the original Cornish Forum back in October last year, where he sort of admitted that he probably shouldn't have said anything. But he wants to bring that next step of success to the club. And he's passionate and wants to share what he can. All of us have listened to that. But the manager trust factor, and it for me was interesting. Obviously, he got that reassurance from Miron that he was going to stay and got that commitment. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "I'm not coming back." Didn't even speak to him at that point. "I'm not coming back. I'm going, to Schalke. Got to do sort out a deal out." And he admitted to himself. He admitted that the deal that they got for him was actually better than they thought. And there's the trust factor thing there for someone that is wanting to do the best for the club, doesn't just have money to throw at anything. Like Stoker would just go and grab whoever we want. That's a big thing because Miron came from nowhere, didn't he, Andy? I'll come to you straight away in this. When he came from nowhere, we did that pod, but we gave him a platform. He gave us all the PR. And I don't disagree with Tom Coke when he posted it at the time after he left. He knew exactly what he was doing. 100% agree with that. And we all thought great. And we were looking forward to start the season. Pleggy, who we had on earlier, signed his 2-year deal under obviously Miron, and committed to that. So when you suddenly then lose someone that you put faith in, and that the Rooney decision didn't work, the Ian Foster situation didn't work, and then you were scolded with that situation with Schumacher, which he said caught him out the blue. It's not easy, is it, Andy, running a football club?
No, it's not. Do you know what it reminded me of? And you're going to laugh at this. It reminded me of Fawlty Towers. Remember when Basil Fawlty had this posh guy staying in this hotel, and he asked about his coins and stuff, and he had bricks in his thing. He was a fraudster, and that's exactly what Muslich was. He was using Argyle as a bit of a stepping stone to get his next job. He had no intention of coming back. Once he'd finished with the Leeds game, his desk was cleared. He was gone, and so you can see where Simon is struggling with trust issues there. And I think now he's found a guy in Tom Cleverley, who we spoke to. Tom from the Watford guy last time.
James.
James. Who said that there's a lot of loyalty around Tom Cleverley, so that's clearly coming through. He's getting the team motivated, and we've got a good manager there now. And hopefully, this is going to be a kick on for us because Tom is a good manager. Despite what people might say about him, he got sacked from Watford, but Watford sack anyone. So. Yeah.
And he did a lot for the youth there, and obviously got the opportunity off the back of that, which he wasn't expecting that early on. But it's a big thing. Football's just a vicious circle at times, and with all the highs and lows, and we've certainly gone through that in the last couple of seasons, a few seasons. But Carl, I'll come to you with the contract piece now. Obviously, the sort of talks about release clauses and, what are we putting in these contracts? And Simon touched upon that himself. The one thing that absolutely stood out to me, and we were talking about it just before coming on, but I even did it with the episodes of the Tales and stuff, Ben's comment, Maxi, the Maxi money, where's all that and stuff. And what Simon was basically saying is, you're in this situation that you set up these contracts and effectively, with the players, and the players will always win at the end of the day. And that's right. They've got their short playing careers. They got to maximize it. But when a player wants to go, he said, or a coach wants to go, like Miron did, what can you do? Because you're paying them their weekly wage. So as a player, and Robbie Savage was one of the first to admit this when he wanted to get a move from Birmingham. Someone reminded me of this the other day. He just then he put 70% effort in. You can manufacture your way to get the deal done. So what we paid with that commitment to Maxi, did we get back that 1.7 or whatever it was? After listening to that for Simon, and it's just trusting his word from that, probably not. Everybody moaned about the Cooper deal. Oh, what's Dewsnip doing? Sending him for that. We should have got a better deal. Actually, he didn't want to. He wanted to go, didn't he? If we remember that at the start of the season, he wasn't featured in pre-season. So you unfortunately have to either make a decision that you keep an unhappy player, paying them their wage, and you suffer the situation where then they're not going to put the effort in, or you just cut your losses and say, fine, look, go. And then what you can get from that is the best deal that you can get. If you've got a startler that someone really wants and there's a lot of interest in them, then you're going to do well out of it. We did well out of Whittaker because I said I got ripped apart for it back in early January when people were going 10 million plus and I'm going 6 to 8 million. I wanted to be wrong because I wanted the big money. But at the end of the day, I just didn't feel when he was put under pressure and he had stronger opposition, he just wasn't able to do what he was doing before. But this is the reality. So we will win some, but I think we possibly, that may not ever tell us, but got our fingers burnt a bit more. We might have done under Hardy. He's gone from whatever he was on to an 18k supposed offer from us to, I think, was it 25, something like that. So, Carl, it is a difficult one, isn't it? Because, when you don't want to stay where you are, you're just going to make life difficult and then get that move.
Well, as you said there, you win some, you lose some. You can't win off every single transfer that we make. Obviously, we've made mistakes, probably with Hardy and Randall for the prices they've gone for. But if we negotiated relegation clauses in their contracts, again, what could we have done? Obviously, we could have given Hardy more money, which apparently we did do. I can't blame him for him to wanting to progress. His international. He still wants the international cap. He's not probably going to get that in League One, is he? He wants Championship football, which is fair enough. Obviously, Wrexham in the past few days have signed Josh Windass themselves, so I don't know how much game time he's going to get at Wrexham now, but he's not going to be starting week in, week out like he thought he was. Wrexham will always going to strengthen.
Depends what formation they play, Carl. Because
true, but Josh Windass is a top striker. I think
if they play us front two, I think they'll play Smith and Hardy, and then they'll play Windass like wide left 10, just for from what I read in the week anyway.
Potentially, but but that was always going to happen with Hardy going there. They're always going to strengthen with more strikers. So we'll Maxi. Obviously, we were never going to get him, were we, to sign without that relegation clause. That's what he wanted as part of the deal to come over, and we got most of the money back for him, so that's decent.
Well, we don't know that though, do we? That's the point I'm making. How do we know that? Who knows?
We're only going off what's out there in the media and fan rumours, aren't we?
Let's be candid, right? They give this information secretly to the press to leak. They don't ever do it themselves, right? So if one of the in the know sort of press guys say that they record their fees, then normally you'd say that was there or thereabouts. Next slide will say whether actually it was done in a wanna. But this is where I think some of the fan base get a little bit itchy. Is they go, well, we've had 10 million quid. Well, we've had transactional 10 million quid, but like all businesses, when you invoice someone or you sign a contract for a player, and that's why I put this on to illustrate, you're not going to get all that money day one. If you look at the way Hull are at the minute, they're in the doo-doo because they still owe money from transfers from 4 seasons ago, right? Which has got to go into the EFL escrow account for argument's sake, and then disperse back to the club so that they show the follow through. So if you look at this being like a £5 million transfer, that's amortized over 3 or 4 years, right? So where's Matt? Ninja Matt's in the room. He's the chartered accountant. I'm not. So he'll tell you. But if you look at it in simple phones, it's like deferred consideration. You'll get $5 million deal, 2 months up front, 2 million up front. So if that was us today, say this was Whittaker, and it's not, by the way, but if this was Whittaker, that was 6, not 5. 2 million up front. We're paying 25% of that away to Swansea. Yeah. So that's £500,000 if I can do my maths right. Leaves you 1.5. That's what we're getting today. Then in 6 months' time, we'll get another £1 million, of which 250 grand goes to Swansea, right? And then we're left with 750. And then instalments in year 2, another £1 million, and then there could be some add-ons if Whittaker ever goes up to the Premier League or he plays 150 games or whatever that was in that contract. So saying we're getting 6 million for a player doesn't mean we're spending £6 million in that instance. Now, what Tom Randall and Foxy have to do is to buy a player at, say, £2 million and then replicate that cash flow model for the selling club that we're buying from, right? Yeah. So they got to go, okay, well, we'll give you £2 million, but we'll give you £500,000 today. And then in 12 months' time, we'll give you another £500,000. And then over the next 2 years, you'll get another £500,000. So cash is restricted. Bearing in mind, you get the receipt for that player. Yes, he's off the wage bill, but then you've still got agents' fees, relocation fees, and the wages that they pay, plus hers and alls and the working capital to run a football club on top of that. So it's not quite as simple, I don't think, as we got 10 million for him. There's £10 million groaning the bank account at the minute, where everyone's like, having Marks and Spencer sandwiches for lunch because they're so well off. It's not that way. That there are cash flow implications of every single deal, from the bottom of the football pyramid right up to the very top, Barcelona and Madrid and even Saudi Arabia. They won't be paying this money up front.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what we wanted to explain to anybody that's watching that sort of you can fall foul of it. Even, I mean, when I did the episode of Tales recently, I referenced in the storyline about they've got that 1.8 million for 1.7 million from Maxi burning a hole in the wallet now, and I did that leading up to the bid for Burrell. And obviously we saw, we read rumours that Burton wanted 1 million cash up front. Cash in any business, no matter how great you are or whatever, is king. You just don't go and give anything more than you absolutely need to. And I think if Argyle have dug their heels in, then on saying, well, no, we might give you 500,000 or 700 if they really want to take him, then fine. But this is where the whole football clubs, as Gavin's alluded to, you can get into major issues and headaches, and there's been a note of that in the comments as well to a degree, because you've just got to manage your finances, and there's more to it than just those player wages. So yes, to us or to people, it looks like, oh yeah, we've got this, we've got that, but it's never always straight away in your pocket. I mean, Leeds were paying players, for Christ's sake, for years after they had left, because they just did silly deals under Ken Bates to get them to get the players in. So it's just, hopefully we've given some context to people on that side. And look, we've got to trust that the club will do what they want and do what they can. I know someone put in here about, we were told we'd have a top 6 budget. So let me put that into perspective. I think Steve Vaughan, friend of the pod, and we chatted about it in the group chat of ours a few weeks ago. And that he did a table, I think, roughly of what those these top clubs have budget-wise in this league. Now, you've got Huddersfield, who've got the billionaire owner, right? But below that, I think it was in regions of £600,000 and £800,000. To put that into perspective, if you had Wrexham and Birmingham in there last season, then that gap is huge. So actually, it's not like we've got a top 6 budget and that means we've got 4, 5 million, 10 million quid to spend. It's not that. But obviously Simon and the Holidays, etc., and Green have gone and put in what they can. They've obviously, as he alluded to, had to also, just to reference this point, I know because Marcus will love infrastructure being mentioned, but Folston Park, so they had to fund that to finish it off, because that's a bigger part of...
And that, again, Mike, that's stage payments, right? So... That the Plymouth City Council put in a lump of cash. There's been a little bit of cash from the running club, a little bit of cash from the rugby club, and then Argyle, I think, are putting in 11 or 12 million pounds of it. That would have been a lump up front, and then there'd be stage payments every month or every quarter, depending on how they've got a JCT contract or they've got an NEC contract or whatever it is. But there'll be a construction contract that says there'll be a valuation every month that goes into the holding company, and that valuation, once quantity surveyors have paid it, have signed it off, paid directly to the contractors, right? So that, again, that's bleeding cash out every single month. On top of that, just to go back to budget, so I think Simon said we've got twice the playing budget we had last time we were in League One, right? Which will be about 8 million quid. So I think 2 years ago, we had a total playing budget, including relocation and agents' fees and transfer fees, of 4 million. So we'll double that this year to 8. Okay. Without any exceptional budget for January. And of course, they're going to save a portion of that back for January, because if we're 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th in January and we need to strengthen the squad, Tom's going to knock on the door, isn't he, and go, "Hey, Foxy, go and speak to Uncle Si. We need a bit more cash." And he's going to go, "Don't worry, we've got some in reserves." So all of these things, I think he's been taken into consideration. If we were in the champ, we'd have another 10 million of revenue cash coming in from TV. We haven't got it, right? So that's where we are. So I get the frustration from the fans. I really do. I understand it. But working in finances as I do loosely, doing deals and stuff, you get appreciation that actually the cash flow is the restrictor here. It's not necessarily the revenue we bring in. The only revenue that hits the pocket, within a few days of it being publicised is anything we put over the till in on match days, anything we put over the till in the shop, and any revenue from the Football League in terms of football, that'll be on stage payments monthly, and then any cup revenue and any exceptional revenue or whatever they call it for cup runs, because that comes straight into the bonds after the game. Everything else is staged. So the cash flow forecasting of a football club, I imagine, is pretty chaotic, because you're trying to buy players with money you don't have yet. Yeah, you're trying to defer it over 2-3 years. So I think that's just a bit of a very thin end of the wedge. It'd be lovely to get the new head of finance in to discuss this, maybe on a pod later, just to dispel some rumours, or maybe next Thursday, not this Thursday, we can ask this at the fans forum. Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's a point, because
you aren't going there, are you?
I know. Well, you confuse the hell out of me. So, but yeah,
that's no, joke, by the way, for everybody.
That's a point. We will look at the timing of the show next Thursday, because that's when we will reset it potentially. So we could go a little bit later just to cover the forum and stuff like that. So we'll come to that. And obviously the investment update, Gav, we'll just do a short touch on this. Obviously, he did say that we got very far in. You can believe it or not from what he said. And then obviously there wasn't that sort of reassurance and proof of funds being available. And that didn't show itself at the start, as Simon said, but it came late, and that sort of, they weren't happy with that, so pulled out. So that's why I referred to, he said that him and the Holidays and Greens had to put money back in to cover those costs of Folkestone and stuff, because that was what was expected to come from that. So,
just make the fan base very clear, right? Additional cash, physical cash, going into the bank account this year, into the Bradford and Bingley this year, as if we were going to have, as one of my clients come up with that recently, it makes me giggle, but into the Bradford and Bingley this year is going the cash that would have been there if we'd got these investors, right? So there's no change this year whatsoever in our playing budget, in the Folkestone budget, and anything else, because Uncle Simon, bless his cotton socks, has probably now had a right blazing row with Jane and said, "You said no more." Yeah, but we're in a predicament, so I'm going to put it in.
Sounds like a good scene for Tales for the next episode.
Yeah, maybe it is actually. That probably is a good one. So he's putting it in along with Nick Giannotti, friend of the pod and friend of Carl, and they chat a lot. And Argyle Green and the Holiday family, they've all said we'll put our proportion in. So this year's not affected, yeah, guys. So those that say, "Oh, Uncle Simon's pocketing all the cash again," it's going the other way, guys. It's going in, it's going in, it's going in. It ain't coming back. He probably still pays for his glass of wine at the bar in the boardroom. So, I think the man's as honest as the day's long, and I think he gets a lot of unfair press. And also, he doesn't have any sway over any of the transfers to say, "Oh, Simon, get your hand in your pocket. Why aren't you buying him?" He's got no fucking idea who he's buying. Absolutely, until they're there. No references to rugby. There's been 2 already. You've missed them. So I don't believe that for a second. And yes, I think this year we're covered. Next year will become the challenge, because I think this is it now. He's bottomed out. He ain't prepared to put any more of his cash in. Yeah. But my estimate is he's put 1/3 of his own net worth into this company. 1/3.
I've actually heard reports as well, Gab, that we've had like 73 offers of investment, right? And Simon is, turning them away for whatever reason, is turning them away because he doesn't think that the investor is going to be a right fit for the club. Yeah. And, you look at that, he's a fan as well. He doesn't want to give the club away too cheaply or to someone who's going to then turn it into a Tesco's, whatever.
Yeah. That was on the pod. He mentioned that on the pod.
Yeah. So what normally happens, right? Just to give, there's an investment one as well. So you can go back and watch that. I've bored everyone with that few months ago. But you send out a teaser, right, to various people that you think would be interested, and they come back and say yes, no, let's have more conversations. So that's whittled down from 70 odd people having a teaser saying, yeah, this looks interesting, let's chat. The second phase of that is then, this is how we want to play the game. So I want a minority investment from you day one, ramping up to you taking over the club in let's say a 2-year window, right, and buying more and more shares along the way from the owner, and maybe buying some additional shares to put extra capital in, or putting some debt in, whatever way they're going to play it. That has meant that a lot of these people of that 70 weren't actually a fit on that basis, right, on their investment style and how they want to manage it moving forward. The ones that were, unfortunately, they were asked time and time again, from what I understand, and I've not got any in the know here, but only from what I've read and heard, they were asked where their source of funds were coming from, because it was a requirement for the club, and it's definitely a requirement for the EFL, right? And it was, yeah, you'll get it next week, it's in the wash, the dog ate it, whatever it was, la 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 la, and all of a sudden, I didn't do that. All of a sudden, it's not here. Simon's lost his rag and said, well, if you haven't done it now, it's 6 months, basically off ski. Yeah, done. That's where it sits. So unfortunately, they've wasted 9 months, probably maybe 12 months of time, and they're now back to the drawing board. And there are other interested parties that they're doing due diligence for at the moment. Blah blah blah. So I think that's where it is, and I'm going to shut up now.
No, it's brilliant. Excuse me. Yeah, it's look. I'll go back to it now. I was just letting Gavin have some limelight, because brilliant insight, and that, like we said, I've said at the start, for those of you that knew, those of you that have followed us for a while know, we like to bring some expertise. I don't bring any expertise, but no, yeah, we like to bring something to you that's different to give you that insight on that. So look, yeah, if you haven't listened to it, go give it a check out. It's and follow the pod as well. It's all good, and I look forward to listening as well to that when the season kicks in. So shout out to the boys there too. So let me see what's on the next slide, because I can't remember. Well, that one we just mentioned. So you will be pleased to know, all of you, that we're now about to wrap up. I mean, look, I know we could go on for another hour.
He's talked a lot tonight, to be fair, hasn't he?
We have, yeah. We've been on an hour and 40 if you cancel out the 10-minute, sort of countdown. But yeah, so look, thank you for everybody that's joined us tonight. I'm glad it did go well with Pleggy, and that you can catch that. It's around 8:15 it was in, so 25 minutes in or whatever with the added countdown on. If you go back after it's loaded back into YouTube, I will clip it out, but not straight away because I'm shattered. So we'll be going to bed after this. But so that was really good. We thank him again. So what are we doing for the new season? So, like I said, I had a list of about 100 things, driving all these guys mad to sort of get involved. You got busy day jobs. So it doesn't always pan out. And we've all got families as well. We can't forget the families. So what we were talking the other day, and it's come up for a while, and like when do we go for match day, post-match analysis? And obviously we used to do Sunday, and it used to be generally around, I think, 7 o'clock-ish.
6.
And because, and respectfully as well, you got Argyle Life that have had that slot for a long time. And it was like, do you know what? We don't want to, for those of you that want to join us and want to watch them as well and vice versa, it's just pointless trying to have that situation from our part, nothing from their side. So we're going to go live Saturday after the game around 8:30. We know a few people have asked that question in terms of, we've seen people ask it, will someone not go live after the game? Last season that would have been pretty painful for most of them. So because the emotions are obviously raw, but also things are fresh in your head. So hopefully you'll all find the time for that. So yeah, like I said, around 8:30, I think it will be. Come back from the game and you can get yourselves sorted out, settled down, kids sorted, etc. if you've got them. And I think that's what we'll start to do. So you can enjoy all the pods out there. Obviously the Pilgrims pods are recorded, so you catch up when they publish it, normally Sunday mornings. That happens. So we can share that and make sure it makes sense. The live lounge, we will aim to go back to our Thursday slot because obviously it's close, but we don't want to do a Friday and then a Saturday because it's just too much for us to prepare. So that will be a Thursday. So straight after the game Saturday, don't be surprised if we don't have a slide deck for obvious reasons. We'll try and bring up the shared pictures that the club do of obviously the lineups, etc. And if we can share the goals, we'll do. But then the Thursday will allow us to do the preview to the next game, talk about any specific topic, and also if we need to, and Gavin's got something up his sleeve that we'll hope to add to that from a game analysis point of view, we'll then bring that to you on that Thursday show. The live lounge is always about being a bit more of a relaxed, calm down from the weekend. And if there's just a Tuesday game, of course, then we can pick that up on there as well. So that's our plan of what we're going to be doing going forward. Merchandise, I'm wearing this top. I've played around with a hoodie of some sort, which looks quite good, that actually. Yes, you got your mug, but also your hat, Andy, and his T-shirt that I did for him when he was going off to an event. And it has, Andy, hasn't it, generated conversation?
It has, yeah. I mean, Grumpy Loyal, the Grumpy Loyal mug has been talked about even in far places like San Sebastian. San Sebastian. Yeah, Aaron. Welcome, Aaron, if you're watching. It gets out there, mate.
And also, just the other day when you were giving blood like you do, Andy.
Yeah. Giving blood. I was sort of giving blood, and I'm sort of talking to a guy in the lift on the way up from floor 3. Season ticket holder at Argyle, and I mentioned the Block 9 podcast. Hope you're watching tonight, mate. And also a former player's wife I bumped into as well, who I want to get onto the sort of live at some stage. Ray Clark will laugh about this. It's Reece Wilmot, so hopefully I'll be touching base with him soon.
Great GK.
Yeah, no, it's good. And yeah, so there's lots. So I've just got to try and pull my finger out. I mean, if Carl could only do that, they can't because it's broken.
Again,
middle finger productions. Yeah.
The merchandise. So you see it obviously there, the block9.co.uk. There is I think it's Shopify. I haven't looked bloody for ages since Ben and Nat brought the last round of mugs, and appreciate that, Ben. Ben Collins, that's in probably still in the chat if he is. But also on that website, which I haven't touched since we came out of the season. That was on my list of things to do. But it was just a place where I do want to build upon that and connect all the Argyle, all the Argyle fan bases across the world, etc. But I did have a pretty good. So for those that know, I do a couple of AI shows. The Tales from the Block is a new one. I'll just click to it quickly here. So that was just an idea to how can I use the AI tools that I love to use and turn them into, do something different with them. So Tales from the Block, for those of you that don't know, I know Ninja Matt's caught up with the episodes now. He's a bit of a technophobe, so I had to send him the show link to his iPhone. I think it was a 6, wasn't it? You've got now, it's a 13. But he used to watch them on YouTube, and I don't always get into the habit of posting across them all. And he enjoyed the latest one. But yes, it's all just a bit of fact and fiction. I didn't bring it up with Pleggy. I did send it to him when it came out. It's the first episode, of course, as Pleggy's #1 fan, starred him. And it did recently with him. Obviously, we didn't know what was going on with his injury. And I was like, what can I do to make up the situation? And I just made it out that his passport had expired and he didn't realise. And there's a bit in there of cleverly not being happy. And he had to spend a few days going to sort it out. Obviously, we did know in the end it was an injury. But yeah, it sort of plays on the current events that are happening in the last week with Argyle, with a bit of what you think could happen and might happen on the background, with as much entertainment fun factor as I can bring to it. So please go and check it out. You can catch it on all your podcast channels. It is also on the website, block9.co.uk. You'll see the threads to that and these shows. So it's good fun doing it. I also do, which caught me out this week because it pulled. This is when you're trying to do too much, as I keep saying to myself, you then let things go through that you would normally spot. And someone did comment on it, but the AI isn't always as accurate as you keep telling it to be. But yeah, I do a little news summary, which in season will be obviously really useful. It's about a 3-minute catch up. It's got my voice, which is cloned for AI. And I also mimic Emma, paramedic Emma, who is hoping to get back into our lives soon. And it just gives you that latest news Argyle update. It's good fun doing it. So check that out. And as a result of that, we had a game, or created a game on called Championship Challenge or Clash, which Ninja Matt was at the top until I think Andy's son went in there. I can't remember now.
Yeah, he was. I tried for ages. I couldn't even get above 400. It's ridiculous.
No, and it's a Space Invaders style game, but what it is, it was you choose your team from the crests in the championship, and then you can shoot all the other badges, and it goes up in levels. I do plan
good as well.
I do plan to do obviously rehash that into the League One, as I said there, so we can then go and shoot the hell out of Exeter City, and maybe I'll try and get it to throw some bonus points in for doing so. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So look, that you'll find that there. And you can see all the channels we're on. Instagram, not so much, because like I said, these things take a lot to do. Carl helps me with that now with some of the posts. So when you see us commenting Zoo Corner, when I was even taking the mick out of myself in part today as the Block 9 account, as Carl was also handing some of the replies, it's generally you'll see that come out, and it'll either be myself or Carl. But yes, there's the Blue Sky, which a lot of Argyle fans are on. I just don't even get time to go on there. Facebook, YouTube, and X, of course. So give us Oh, sorry. Yes, Andy. Thank you, Andy. He's a veteran on Pizzotti. So Ian, if you're watching tonight, obviously he runs a Pizzotti evening, and anybody else from there. So right, I've waffled on long enough for that. There's one final thing, and we did mention this the other week, and then I failed to sort it out. Gavin has got a signed shirt. Let me just get rid of us there a second. Gavin has got a signed shirt from last season. Obviously, there'll be a number of players on there now that are no longer here. So we are going to raffle this out. So I'll probably sort the post out tomorrow because just too tired, if I'm honest, to do it after this. But we'll get that out, and what we'll do is we'll run it. We'll try and run it for the week. The whole idea then to obviously help with the awareness of the pod is it will be a like, share, tag, etc. On the channels, and then what we'll do is we'll find a way to randomly pick a winner out of that, and then we will get that shirt to you. It'd be good if we can actually meet you at the ground if that's where it goes, get a photo and hand that over. So keep an eye out for that. But all the likes, shares and retweets always help and are much appreciated where we can. So we will sort that one out. Let me go back to us up here. It's still Gavin. There we go. Let's change it around. So some final comments before I go to the guys for their final words. Accidental Pilgrim, brilliant pod, going from strength to strength. Maybe one day as a special event, have a joint pod with Argyle Life, and why not Pilgrims pod, of course. A bit like an Emmerdale visiting the Rovers return. You never know. Always up for a bit of fun.
And you look good in them.
Say again?
I said you look good in Bethlin Cheerings.
Please keep your fantasies to yourself and out of the show. Yeah. We've also come on, mouse, click the button. Kenny Pester again, there's a joke in there somewhere, Andy, and a mug. Yeah, absolutely. Ninja Matt saying time to quit the day job to focus on all this, Mike. If anybody wants to sponsor us that has a business, then get in touch, please. And I did see someone mention Dawson in football earlier. I've done it many a times. It ain't happening ever. So don't worry about that. Stephen Cooper, good pod, guys. Thanks. Randall back tomorrow. Come on, you Green. Jet. Leon Broom. Good to see you, Leon. Thanks, guys. Great show as always. Pleggy, what a gentleman. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Ninja Matt, what's this one? If Miron's signature is on it, I've got some use for it. Carl likes manager names on shirts, so I don't think that one is on it. So Carl, any final words from you tonight?
Yes, sorry.
He's thinking about Pleggy's boxers.
No, I was trying to think of a comeback to that bloody Wayne Rooney thing, but I can't be arsed now. Yeah, looking forward to the new season. Obviously, our new schedule. Hopefully, get some more special guests on if we can. We've got a few in the pipeline, hopefully. Roll on tomorrow at 3:00.
Yeah, it's all good. And Carl is donning the new black kit.
It's really nice.
Gavin had it on the other day. It does look, and obviously a load of others at the ground on Torquay. It does look good, have to say. And obviously, Andy, we're waiting on the other kit reveal at some stage. But yeah, as you are proudly donning your Block 9 top there, you any final words from you, mate?
Yeah, again, similar to Carl, really. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Looking forward to getting back at home park again, sitting in my seat, chucking peanuts down that Kenny pasta in front of me. Yeah, for those of you who want to come and join me, the Grumpy Loyal, meet me at the Hyde Park Social Club. I'm going to go for a beer. I think Carl might be coming down for a beer, but yeah, I'm looking forward to
popping along.
The whole routine of going for a beer first with Clarky and maybe Kenny as well, and maybe Carl. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, should be all good. Also, you can catch Andy on TikTok, Grumpy Loyal on there. So if you want to go and give him a follow on there, if you are on TikTok, do that. Likewise, myself on there. But Andy does live stream on there and does do other bits with football. So you can, if you want more content, you can go there for that. God, don't you dare. Some of the content he looks at on TikTok is questionable, folks. Gavin, any final words from you? And also from me, thank you for helping me get the slide deck ready tonight as well.
No, I just reiterate, I think it was really nice of Pleggy to come on tonight. He's an absolute gentleman, isn't he? And I think we're very privileged as a fan base to have access to one of our star players who can just pop on a random Friday night before a game and give us 15, 20 minutes of his time. I'll just find that staggering. So once again, Pleggy, thank you. Thanks, Georgia, as well, for nagging him into it, I'm sure. Hopefully he didn't find it too stressful. And we'll hopefully see him over the whitewash tomorrow in his boots. That'll be nice. But yeah, just it's really nice to get access to players. I think that's a real coup, and thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Gavin. Yeah, and also the other guys that do also get whether it's old players. David Freer was on Argyle Live. You obviously had the Graham Carey on the Argyle official pod, as well as obviously Simon Hallet recently. So it's great that they give up that time, whether they're an existing player, an old legend, etc. So it's great. And it was great to bring you, Pleggy, live as well. That's a commitment, not just you could do a pre-record. That's one of the routes to take. But he was more than happy when I asked the question. Literally, it was Georgia late yesterday said, "Oh, do you want him to come when you go next live?" I said, "Tomorrow, he can come on." I was like, "Wow!" So it was quite a bit of a panic getting everything sorted. But yeah, from me to him, absolutely brilliant. Thank you both, Georgia and Pleggy, for that. And we'll look forward to having him on, as he said, later on as the season kicks in. An international break, even if we don't get affected too much by that, although we have 6 internationals, will be a good time. But yeah, and everybody that's joined us tonight, if you're new, like I said, thank you very much for coming in. You've now seen what we're about as 9, all the regulars that pit up with us every week as well. It's been great having you, and the comments have been fantastic tonight. So yeah, from all of us, that's it. We shall confirm it next Thursday. We'll try and make sure we work it. If we can't do it, then we will do the Friday, or we'll just wait until after the game, actually. So on the Saturday. So we don't want to put too much pressure in trying to get things together with all that's going on. So yeah, look, other than that, folks, Gavin, Carl, Andy, thank you very much. Everybody else, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.
Take care, guys.